Good, welcome you guys back to my channel, Nene Blobs. So today I'm doing the first date book tag. Okay, so I found out about this tag by Little Book Owl. She did this tag and I was like, that sounds really fun, so I decided to do it. Okay, so before I start, I just want to say I'm really bad at deciding. So this might be like the worst deciding skills ever. There might be like 2 books in one category. But just bear with me, I'm really bad at deciding. Okay, so this book tag was made by Katesbookdate. And I will link the video down below if you guys want to watch it. And also I'll link Little Book Owl's video down below as well. Okay, so let's just get started. The Awkward First Date. A book where something felt off. It wasn't a bad book, but it just didn't have that spark for you. For me, it was My Cousin Rachel by Daphne du Maurier. So this book I picked up because I love Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca and I also like her writing style. So I decided, why don't I read this book as well? And the thing is, I enjoyed it. It was just, there was just something missing for me. I felt like it needed more and like I just needed more. So sadly, because of that, I had to give it a lower rating. If there was just something more, I don't know what, just a bit more for me to get more interested in and yeah. But it was all in all a good book, just for that small bit that was missing. It was missing. Number 2, The Cheap First Date. A book that turned out less than you were expecting. Definitely Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. So this book I knew was a classic, and some people didn't like it, but I thought it would be still good because it's a classic, and I mean, a lot of people like it, so I thought I would like it. But when I picked it up, I really did not fall in love with the characters as I usually do. The whole thing was a bit just boring for me. I couldn't get into it. The characters were just not completely relatable. And I love this style of writing and everything, just the characters and just some stuff. It just, I didn't understand most of it. It was just like, yeah, it just was like a bit boring, and that's why this is my answer. Number 3, Well Prepared First Date. A book that was better than expected. This has to go to The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. I picked this up out of like a whim. I saw it was a good price and I was like, it sounds interesting, and I actually got mixed up with this book and another book when I bought it. I thought it was another book, I forgot the name now, but it wasn't, and then I realized it wasn't, but then I read the back and I got again interested in it, and I was like, this is gonna be a good book, but I wasn't expecting it to be that good, and this book was really, really good. I couldn't put it down. It was just like, it checked all the boxes for me, because it's about this young lady who is said to be queen, and she is 19 years old, so she must become queen now, and it's all her struggles and everything, and it's in like a futuristic world where they lost all technology and medication, and it's kind of like a medieval time, and I love that time, and also just like all the characters I loved so much. It was just really, really good, and I wasn't expecting it to be that good. It was even so good that I had to pick up the second book really fast. I bought the second book like the next week. Number 4, Hot but Dumb. A pretty book, but not so hot in the inside. I would also have said Wuthering Heights for this because the cover I loved, but I went for The Ballroom by Anne Hope. I love this cover, like I love all the birds, and it's so simple but so pretty. But the inside, the story was fine because it's about women and a man, and they're in the asylum, and it's in the 1911s, and it's like the best time. But there was this one character that I really didn't like, and I got really annoyed with the characters, so the book just fell flat for me because of that, and the character was just like so annoying. It took away from the whole story because it would have been really good without the character. So I didn't really like parts of the book, and that's why this is the answer for the question. Number 5. Book you picked up not knowing anything about it. Okay, so I first thought I didn't really have a book like this, but then I remembered Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. So this I picked up at the beginning of my reading time, and I found it and it just looked interesting because the time period looked interesting, but I didn't know anything about the author, the writing, the story, the plot, anything. At the back literally it says, "Last night I dreamt I went to Manderley again." And I picked it up and I'm so happy I did because it was really a good book. Number 6, Speed Dating. A book that you read really fast. My answer must be Everything Everything by Nikolai Yoon. I picked this book up at about 8:30 and finished it at about 12:30. I read this in 4 hours. I couldn't put it down. Such a good book. Like I said in my wrap up, I think I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was just really good book. You have to read it. You will literally fly through it. If you guys don't know what it's about a girl who's allergic to everything, and then there's a new neighbor in the neighborhood, and there's a boy in the family, and they meet, and it's just really good story. Big twist at the end. There's a movie coming out, read it. Also for this answer, I would say Wake and Lullaby by Amanda Hocking. These 2 books I read in one day, both of them like together, like this in the morning and this in the afternoon. Both of them were just a really fast read, and they're very short, so you can read it really fast. Number 7, The Rebound. A book you read too soon after a book hangover, and it kind of ruined the book for you. Okay, so I didn't really experience this before, except for my recent dilemma. The book is The Host by Stephanie Meyer, and this book I've been needing to pick up like forever. I literally have told you guys I'm gonna read this for so many months, but I never pick it up, and I was supposed to read it for the Tome Topple Readathon, and spoiler alert, I didn't. It is all because A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I read that book, loved it, fell in love with it, had a huge book hangover. I couldn't read. Like I started this book and I read like 10 pages and I couldn't get into it. Then I read like 20 more pages, still couldn't get into it. So I decided not to pick it up because I wasn't getting into it, I wasn't enjoying it, and I feel like this needs to be read when I want to, like when I'm in the mood to read it. And especially after a book hangover, after A Court of Mist and Fury, I was needing just like a short book just to quickly read. So this was not it for me. So that is the closest answer that you guys will get for this question. Number 8 is Overly Enthusiastic Date. A book that felt like it was trying too hard. Okay, so I don't have an answer for this question. I'm really sorry. So let's just go to the next one. Number 9, A Perfect Date. A book that did everything right for you. I have too many answers for this question. I mean, all my favorite books did everything right for me. Okay, so I cannot decide, but I'm gonna just decide 2 books, which is Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. I've talked about this book so many times on my channel, won't say too much about it, but I loved it. And then second is Alice in Wonderland. So this book I read at the end of last year and I fell in love with it. It just puts me in this really good, fun, imaginative, childish mood, and I just fell in love with all the characters and just enjoyed it so much that there was nothing wrong with it. It was just so much fun. So those are the 2 answers. Number 10 is Humiliating First Date. Book you're embarrassed to admit you liked, embarrassed to see reading in public for whatever reason. So I don't have an answer for this. I'm not embarrassed to read any of my books. Okay, so that was my first date book tag. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe if you're new to my channel. Also, try this video if you want to. I tag everyone, whoever's watching this and wants to do it. I tag you. And lastly, please comment down below your answers to these questions. It would be really interesting. And comment down below if you enjoyed this video as well. Okay, see you guys next time. Love.